In this demonstration, we're going to install DevTest server components on a Linux Red Hat machine. Previously, we downloaded the installation files and unzipped them, so let's take a look at those. We can see the demo server zip and the DevTest Linux x64 installer files. We also have the license file that we got directly from CA. This is the license file you need to use on the computer that Enterprise Dashboard is being installed on. Here are the two files we downloaded from CA Support Online earlier and unzipped. Notice that the installer file has execute privileges. So to run the installation, if we press enter here, we'll bring up the GUI and go through the installation, which is what we're going to do. If you need to do things in command line mode instead, just add a -C to the command. So let's run the installer. Okay, so now we're in the installer. The first panel tells us what we're installing, DevTest Solutions 10. Now we read and agree to the end user license agreement. We scroll through the license agreement and then click the I accept option followed by next. We need to specify a destination directory to actually install the product. We'll be installing it in opca devtest, which is the default. For installation type, we can specify whether to install locally or shared. Local is the default and most common way to do an install. It means that we're installing all of the files on the local machine. This is the option we'll choose for our installation. If you're interested in the sharing option, for sharing a single DevTest solution install across multiple users on multiple computers, I suggest you read the documentation for details. At this point, we select what components we want to install. If you uncheck Server, you'll be able to only install Workstation. If Server is checked, like it is here, you're going to be installing both the server components and Workstation components. When you do an install of server components, you're basically, with the possible exception of Enterprise Dashboard, installing all components on the local system. After installation, you select which components you want to run. At this point, we have to specify whether we're installing a new Enterprise Dashboard or just connecting to an existing one. So for example, if we were installing a remote simulator server or VSEs, we would select the existing Enterprise Dashboard service option and specify the URL of the installed Enterprise Dashboard. Since we're installing a new Enterprise Dashboard now, we need to specify the path to the license file. This field by default points at devtestlic.xml in the installation file directory, which is where we placed our license file. At this point, we have to decide whether we're installing demo server. We actually do in our case, so we select the proper option. Demo server provides a convenient environment for verifying our installation, as well as providing sample projects. The path specified for the DevTest demo server zip file is correct. We can create symlinks as well, so let's do that. We now have the option of creating desktop icons. These icons will give quick access to things like Workstation, Demo Server, and Forward Cars. So now we start the actual installation. The installation is complete, and we're provided with some information on avoiding JDK conflicts and a reminder that firewalls may affect the operation of DevTest. We can see the icons that were created on the desktop. There are icons for starting the Cars example servers and the DevTest demo server for Lisa Bank. There's a DevTest workstation icon. And there are UIs for the DevTest portal, the Cars example UI, and the DevTest Enterprise Dashboard UI. So now we click Next. And we finished with the installation.